Shawty, since I caught you on that ice, you got no chill, no more.
Hello ZheBeauty, so welcome back to another episode of ZheBeauty channel where I'm your hostess, Janae. This is not going to be a long intro, so always remember beauty is not to be judged but to be celebrated, because living is truly a lifestyle. Now I'm jumping straight into this video because honestly I'm really excited about the look that I want to do today. Honestly, I have been obsessed with this one type of style, you know what I mean? So I just want to come and show you guys like the type of look that I want to do today. It's really sultry, it's really bold, but it's also like real subtle, and you can wear this look for an everyday look if you want to. I know I will be wearing this look for an everyday look, but if you just so happens to get inspired by the look and you want to try it out, girl, go be free to do so. Okay, be free to do so. So if you want to know any of the products that I use, click the links in the description down below. It will direct you directly to the products that I'm using, and you can go ahead and purchase some of these products from my storefront. So yeah, let's go ahead and start with the eyeshadow. I'm going in with my Morphe Mirror Magic eyeshadow palette. And the key to this look, you don't really want it to be just perfect, okay? You want to make sure that you're just using I'm using a big fluffy brush because it's going to be piles of brown, different types of browns on here anyways. Yeah, you want to make sure you just packing on that eyeshadow. It doesn't have to be perfect, because one eyeshadow and just building up the color is easier. Girl, when I tell you I was so inspired when I went this look, I feel like I do my makeup like better when I'm not on camera. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I just be more patient or what, but child, when I'm not recording or anything like that and I'm just sitting here doing my makeup and like peace, I just be chilling, and my makeup, I feel like it comes out better to me. And I'm just gonna leave that like that, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side. So I recently picked up some new products. I did pick up some new brushes. If you haven't seen my my chrome short, I really like the new Real Techniques brushes. Plus I feel like that's the type of era I'm in right now, honestly. It gave me like Morphe vibes at first, but I was here for it. So most of the Morphe brushes I would get is probably like detailing my outer face for like exact placements. Story time while I do my eyeliner. It's just a black gel Inglot liner. When I first went into Sephora, well, let's start from the beginning. When I first got into makeup, honestly, I went into Sephora. I didn't know about Ulta then. At the time when I got into makeup, it was kind of like 2018, 2019. I was like 20 years old, probably 19 or 20 years old, and I got into makeup. So I've always been into makeup, but I kind of never really pursued it and like really thought that I can make a career out of it or anything like that until like later on. The first thing I ever walked into Sephora and looked at was NARS. NARS had, it just, I don't know, something about NARS just attracted me to NARS. So when I first went to NARS, I kid you not, I was over there for at least 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, like no exaggeration. Like, I was over there for a minute because I was looking at all the selection. I was swatching things. I was just having fun. I was just playing around. And I was actually trying to find like my shade and different things like that. Back then I didn't know about like undertones and like I didn't really started learning that until I got like further into my makeup game. But seen it and I was like, oh, I want to get some NARS. I want to get some NARS. Baby, I had to stop my own stuff in my tracks and look like, is this really the price of NARS? Like, is this really the price that I'm about to pay for NARS? I was like, I love NARS, I do, and I just could not afford it at that time. So I couldn't really afford it then. So I was like, okay, then I'm not gonna get it. So I went over to Too Faced. The next thing that I fell in love with Too Faced as well. Like, those are my top two brands, and Urban Decay. I went through the Kat Von D stage, but it wasn't like, it was just like their liners and different stuff like that, because Kat Von D has some good liners. Like, she has some really good liners. Like, I absolutely love her liners, her and stuff like that. Like, if you're looking for a good liquid liner, if you're looking for like a matte bold eyeliner, yeah, she has really good ones. But it's still kind of pricey. And I think the first foundation that I walked out of there with was the Cover FX. Like, that was I can't remember the shade because I haven't used Cover FX since. But the only reason why is because, like, I wanted to get something out of there at the time. So after that, I kind of noticed the pattern. I was like, okay, NARS has been like one of those makeup brands that I've always wanted to get. Kind of like serendipitous. It just kind of happened. Fairly full coverage. The shade match is beautiful. I absolutely love it. After I walked out of there with the Cover FX, I couldn't wait to get home and like do my makeup. And then I went through this weird phase. It became like an obsession to where I was like, this not good enough, this not good enough, this not good enough. The makeup was honestly as good as my knowledge was on it. It's time for me to venture out, try new things. With speeding up to today, in this day and age, I finally got my hands on some NARS and some Too Faced. I stuck with drugstore for as long as I possibly could until I learn how to budget and manage my money in a proper way for myself. It's like money wasn't a big thing to talk about, so I kind of really didn't have a clear understanding on how money worked or anything like that until I got a little bit older and started like really studying it and really like talking about it. Switching up my brushes to the Real Technique brushes. This is the Expert brush, and child, when I tell you, this gets my looks to eat every time because it's a very dense brush. It's like dense brushes, like it's like the longer you do your makeup, you start using different brushes that work for you and different stuff like that. Because I started to use like different brushes and I started to get into the brushes and I was like, oh shit, so these brushes do this and this brush do this. And so I noticed what I started to notice recently, honestly, really recently. It didn't hit me until like recently, but the Real Techniques Expert dense brush, if you use a really good dense brush, hey, that was a good base. What did I use for that base? And honestly, it didn't have nothing to do with the foundation. It didn't have nothing to do with the primers. It didn't have nothing to do with anything. It had everything to do with the tool that I was using. Real Techniques brush, and babe, look at that. Went in with the e.l.f. hydrating concealer, and this is in the shade medium beige. So I let this sit on here for as long as I could to let it dry down some. Like, this will forever be my concealer. Like, I haven't did enough exploring yet to find a concealer that I just really love, but this e.l.f. is like really my top tier, my favorite concealers right now. Will I be buying any foundations soon? I don't know, because I've always wanted those two foundations. Well, really, I really like my Maybelline as well. Maybelline, my NARS, and Too Faced is really... I don't think I'm going to get the Urban Decay because I don't want to use... A lot of these products be having a lot of hyaluronic acid, and I try to really stay away from hyaluronic acid. Where I needed to, and I can blend it out right then, and if I need to add more coverage or more product, I can always go in and do that as well. Now I'm gonna use my Mercier with my Maybelline Fit Me, and this is my loose powder. I'm going to use these two powders just because I really love this powder, because also this powder has my color tint in it, so it's going to give me some color back into my... And baby, you can tell it's like, if you can't see it, like it's damn near empty. I think it pairs really good with the Mercier, so I'm going to mix these two together. Like, these two, I just feel like they pair so beautifully together. Like, look at that coverage. Look how everything just lays. Now I'm using a Real Techniques brush, My Physicians Formula bronzer. I just want it to be very soft, and you don't really need a lot because this brush, look at that. I'm going in with my Morphe. Child, I've used this palette before. They don't even have this palette in the stores anymore. It's like crazy because I checked on Sephora, I checked on Ulta, and they did not have the palettes. But when I went on the Morphe, actual Morphe website, they had it. So Morphe, let me tell you something. Please put it back in Sephora. Please put it back in Ulta. Like this palette, I love these palettes. They're so blendable, they're so lightweight, and they just, now this is the kitten brush out of the Real Techniques, and I absolutely love the angle of this brush because look at the brush. It's angled, it's flat. I just really enjoy using this brush, and it gets in them tiny crevices that you need, and I just absolutely love this brush. I'm gonna go ahead and spray my face down with the Morphe. Okay, girlies, so this is the finishing look. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below so you don't miss out when I upload new videos such as this one. Don't forget, beauty is not to be judged but to be celebrated, because living is truly a lifestyle. Bye.
Ever since I caught you on that ice, you got no chill, no more.